Link and Tim Johnson here this afternoon. Best in Sports shows here on WCSL in Cherryville. Tim and I are back with you. We're going to be talking a lot of sports tonight. Baseball, basketball, football, a little NASCAR, a little bit of everything, Tim.
That's right, Ken. We also got a guest speaker today, Mr. Leffer Gibson, the Lincoln High School football coach. He'll be calling our show sometime after 4 o'clock here today. And hope everyone, all the mothers especially out there, had a great Mother's Day this past weekend, Ken. I know my wife did, and I'm sure Miss Teresa did as well.
We did, and ready to get going in this summer, cut right around the corner, and the heat has showed up. And it's baseball weather.
It's getting a little warm out there. Starting to heat up, Ken.
Just a little bit. We got a couple of announcements, things we want to hit real first, and then we'll get into some baseball. This past Friday, Tim was out at Verdict Ridge for a event to help raise some funds for some folks. The Tee Up for Technology to benefit Catawba Springs Elementary was held. Had some golfers out there that came through, and they was trying to win some prizes, and Tim was doing a great play-by-play.
I don't know, Ken. I tell you what, I'm no Jim Nance, that's for sure. But had a great time. Evan was there with us too, Smoke was, and me and him was there from about probably, I'd say 7:30, 8 o'clock in the morning until around 2 p.m. that afternoon. Had a great time. It's for a great cause, Ken. Catawba Springs Elementary School, they raised some money for the kids there in Lincoln County schools. And anytime you could do anything for Lincoln County schools, Ken, it's a plus. It's thumbs up, my friend.
Yeah, we want to promote that kind of thing for the Lincoln County schools. And we'll be talking more about that as we go along.
Absolutely.
Well, you and I have in mind for the Lincoln County and how we want to promote some stuff there.
Absolutely.
Just a little note on that. I understand that Tim was given the play-by-play, and this was carried live on YouTube and was our first KTC Broadcasting first try at HD, high definition.
Yeah.
And we're sort of testing that out. Now, I understand that they'll be doing more of that as we get into the Legion Baseball broadcast schedule. There'll be several games a week, but at least one of those games they will be doing in high definition as they work out the kinks with the plans as we get into the high school football season. All the games that they have broadcast and streaming, they want to have as high definition. So
Absolutely.
That's something that's coming.
Yeah, we're advanced technology, as they call it, Ken.
Yeah,
and KTC Broadcasting, Kevin Hastings and Calvin Hastings, they're without a doubt on top of everything out there when it comes to technology. So I want to invite everybody to join our show every Wednesday, as well as all the American Legion Baseball. And we got Mr. Baseball in the studio with us, Ken Link. He is going to be on top of everything when it comes to American Legion Baseball this whole entire summer. And we are the home show of the American Legion World Series, Ken.
Absolutely. KTC Broadcasting is the radio broadcast network for the World Series, and they will be covering every game they will have on the radio in the World Series. And we'll be leading up to that, and we're going
to have a schedule, too, for the post-100 and some of the teams in the area.
We'll get into next week. Yeah. We'll get into talking more about Legion Baseball because the schedule getting ready to kick off. There's some games that may be played this weekend with some teams, and about everybody by next weekend, I think, will be getting involved with some games.
It's going to be full force back coming up next weekend. Also, speaking of some baseball, Mooresville Spinners, Ken, that is a wood bat series, just like our Gastonia Grizzlies. Philip Lofton is the general manager there and does a great, outstanding job for the Mooresville Spinners. Has a lot of Lincoln County players play there. My son, Alec, played there last year. We have Austin Buchanan from East Lincoln. He's with Surrey Community College. Also, Trevor Whitley, who's going to Presbyterian College. I know his parents well, Brad and Patriot, great people. Also, I know the grandparents, too. Trevor's going to be playing there as well. And, of course, our good friend, Mr. Matt Bumgarner, Jeff, and Bumgarner's actually son who plays at Montreat College. They're up in the mountains. Matt will be playing. He's also playing Legion, too, but he's going to play this weekend just to get some pitching in for coming up this Legion season, Ken. So I know that Jeff and them's going to be coming down to watch him. I talked to a lot of people. So if you want to go down to Mooresville Spinners, you just take Highway 50 all the way into Main Street. Actually, it's on the back side of the main street. It's like over near Church Street, North Main Street, that area. Great ballpark. Philip and them's done a lot of work that ballpark, Ken.
Yeah, sounds good. And I understand they've had some successful seasons down there.
Phillips
only been there 2 or 3 years, and I think they've been pretty successful every year they've been down there.
And Ken, last year, Ken, I remember last year they had over 1,500 people that showed up for opening night. They have an average of anywhere from 300 to 500 people a night to come watch baseball. It's a great family event.
I tell you what, the baseball like that, the wooden bat leagues, they draw really well. I mean, the Grizzlies draw very well as well. So it's good baseball. If you want to go out and see it, it's a wooden bat league, and you see some local talent that you are familiar with, as well as some guys on the team you're maybe not familiar with. So it's good baseball.
All righty, Kenny, and like we said, we got Lincoln High School football coach Lefford Gibson. Lefford and I are good friends, and we've been following. Lefford's been a football coach there at Lincoln for probably, I'd say, at least 12, 14, 15 years. Ken. He was a defense coordinator for a long time.
Yeah, he was,
And when Scott Coach Clonker retired, Lefford just stepped right into that situation.
Yeah, and Lincoln likes to promote within.
They do.
You know, if you look over the last 40, 50 years, you can count on your hand how many football coaches they've had.
Yes.
Because they like to promote within the program.
It had a great football team last year. And the last couple of years, they had a great football team. So, Lefford will be on our show coming up sometime after 4 here today. Also, Ken, we got high school baseball playoffs.
Yeah, let's talk a little bit about the playoffs. A lot has happened since last Wednesday. You know, the first round was starting last Wednesday. So we've had first round, the second round, and third round games. And we had some upsets. Unfortunately, one of our local favorites, who is a defending state champion last year, the Cherryl Ironman, dropped in the first round. Sort of an upset.
That was an upset.
A 6-0 loss, and a really disappointing loss for I'm sure the Ironman there. But they had a great regular season, and I guess a lot of those guys get ready to play some Legion baseball for post 100. In that league, that 1A league, we had 5 teams make the playoffs. Unfortunately, several lost in the first round, including Cherryville. Lincoln Charter won first round but lost second round. But the one team that's still there is Pine Lake Prep.
They're playing good baseball.
Who've won 3 games, all of them low scoring, Tim. They won 3-2, 1-0, and 3-2. And so they are left after the third round. They're playing the fourth round tomorrow. They'll be playing not tonight. Is it tonight they play, or
the night's Wednesday.
Sorry.
It'll be Friday. Friday night. That's right.
They played last night. They'll play Friday. They'll play Murphy Friday. In the SD 7-2A, nobody was left after the second round. I guess that shows maybe that league wasn't as strong as it has been in the past. We did have East Lincoln, who won the first round game, unfortunately run across a tough foe in the second round. East Rutherford, Bobby Dale Reynolds, the defending state 2A champion. And what a great game. Pitcher's duel, 1-0 win by East Rutherford. The guy, McCowan, pitched a complete game and hit a home run in the first inning for the only run scored.
And that was at East Lincoln.
So that was a well-played game, good defense, tough one for East Lincoln to lose.
And Burleson did come in and pitch toward the last of the game.
Yeah, Childers started and did a good job.
Pitched great.
He gave up 2 hits in the first inning and that home run, and he didn't give up another hit, and he pitched 4. And then Burleson came in, and he didn't give up a hit. So East Rutherford only had 2 hits for the game. East Lincoln only had 3 hits, and they couldn't quite push one across.
I was reading in the paper where Mattil made some comments about his players about how great they played, and he said, we finally put everything together in that game. He said he said our kids have nothing to hang their head down on that game. He said they played tremendously, and Mattill's a great coach too. So, and our hats off to East Lincoln Mustangs this year for a great season. They won the conference, and so they had a great season. So, Mattil, he'll rebound next year and get a group of kids together, and he'll be back out there playing. And I'm sure they'll be always in the thick of things when it comes to the conference titles too. Ken just got a text from Randy Emmon, a right-hand man, that Marty Curtis, the head baseball coach at Bunker Hill, that is, Bunker Hill Bears, Marty Curtis, just made the Catawba County Sports Hall of Fame.
Oh, that's great.
Absolutely. He's a great coach. And I said
he did a great job with Bunker Hill this year. And the Bunker Hill guys were probably one of the toughest team in the second half of the SD7, and actually won a couple games in the playoffs. but bailed out. They're not there
Yeah.
anymore. But they
were
won
the hottest team, like
They
you
were
said.
the hottest team. They
Yes.
won their first round game.
They did. And Marty Curtis, like I say, just made a Catawba County Sports Hall of Fame on behalf of one of our fine persons out there, Mr. Randy Ammon, FedEx driver. He's also a gentleman who's responsible for our website and our Twitter account. Folks, get on there, check that out. So thank you, Randy, for shooting that in to us. Also want to say hello to Lindell. To Lindell Hoffman out there. Lindell's a good friend of mine, so I want to say hello to Lindell. Also, a lot of people out there, Ken. I've been talking around town Lincoln. A lot of people's been listening to us.
Well, that's
First
good.
Federal's been tuning in to us. Also, Carolina Trust Bank.
Well, that's good to know. We love to talk sports, and we'd like for you to tune in. And
Absolutely.
we'll welcome any comments or criticisms as we talk about sports.
Now, the SD7, Ken, you said the East Lincoln got beat, and then Bunker Hill's out of it and made West Lincoln. So all the teams are out of it now.
They're gone.
They're all gone.
And in the Big South, a lot of teams went out early, but South Point was hanging in there, and they won their first 2 rounds. But unfortunately, they lost to Cuthbertson in the 3rd round, 11-5. So that conference no longer has any team in the playoff.
RS Central is still in. Is that correct?
RS Central played East Ruffleton, and good game. RS won that game 3-2, knocking the defending state champions out of the tournament. RS Central was the best team in that 2A, 3A league, and they're still in it.
They play West Davison now. Is that
Play
correct?
West Davison.
Do they play at RS Central?
Yes, I think they do. Yes,
Okay.
so they're a higher seed.
All right.
And
Crest?
Crest is the other team out of that league that's still there. They have won the first 3 rounds, and they will play West Rowan in the 4th round. And they are a team that you need to think about could win the 3A because they're playing well. They got it together late in the season.
They're a young team, Ken. I know that team.
Yes, they are
very
young.
Team.
And they got together late in the season. They're really playing good ball now.
And Coach Hodges do a great job up there at Crest High School. Good coach. Good man, too.
And so
pretty well.
just a preview on what's up. I know we talked about a couple things, but bottom line, this is what's going on.
All right.
As far as teams in the area that we're a little bit familiar with, in the Western A semifinals, you got Pine Lake, a 14 seed, going against the Murphy, a 4 seed. If they will win that game, they play the winner of North Stanley and North Stokes.
To go to the state championship.
Yeah, though they would play then for the Western 1A championship, best 2 out of 3. And if who the winner of that then would go to the state best 2 out of 3.
Okay, so this is round 4 now. Round 5 will be against
it'll be
two.
next week,
I
and
got you.
it'll be the best 2 out of 3 for the regional championship.
In RS Central.
Now, in the Western 2A, again, you have RS Central, a 2 seed against West Davidson, a 3 seed, and they'll play the winner of Forbush, a 1 seed, versus another area
Lake
team,
Norman Charter.
Lake Norman Charter, a 7 seed.
That's awesome.
And Lake Norman Charter will be coming into the new South Fork 2 Athletic Conference along with North Lincoln, and that's 2 pretty good baseball schools that's going to strengthen that conference next year.
So we're pulling for Lake Norman Charter and RS Central.
Absolutely.
That's what we're pulling for. We want both of them schools to win.
In Western 3A, you got Crest, a 7 seed against West Rowan, a 4 seed. You got Marvin Ridge, a 2 seed against Cuthbertson, 10 seed, the team that knocked out South Point. And the Western 4A,
Layton.
you got Lake Norman, the team that played in the same conference North Lincoln did. Now, you talk about a tough conference. That's a 3A, 4A conference. Lake Norman, a 4A school, and a number 2 seed is playing Southwest Guilford, a 3 seed, and they'll play a winner of TC Roberson, a 1 seed, and Providence, a 5 seed for the Western.
Yeah, that TC Roberson team's pretty good. They're pretty stout.
Yeah.
They're going to be hard to beat. Lake Norman Charter, I tell you, they got a lot of talent, that school.
Yeah.
They got a good baseball program, too.
We know what they do in basketball.
Yeah,
now they
tell me
do
about
it in
it.
baseball a little bit. So there you go.
Well, that's awesome, Ken. All right, Kenny. Like I said, we got Leffler calling up here in a little bit. Anything else you want to touch before we go to commercial?
No, let's go to commercial and come back, and we'll hit on a couple other things.
Sounds good. You're listening to the best in sports right here on WCSL 1590. Tim Johnson, Ken Link, every Wednesday from 4 to 5.
Car, home, back porch. It's the only one we listen to. I listen to it all day long.
Big O Country, 1590 AM, WCSL, Cherryville, Gastonia. Online at KTCBroadcasting.com.
What a night this Saturday the 13th at Hickory Motor Speedway. We bring you the 321 Lawnmower Night at the races, presented by Whalen Night, featuring 100 laps for the NASCAR Whalen All-American Series Bojangles late models, 35 laps for the Paramount Auto Group Limited late models, 30 laps for the Cosmo Motors stock, 25 laps for the Classic Sportsman Racing Series, and the Allison Legacy cars. Gates open at 5, racing at 7:30, $12.50 for adults, $10.50 for seniors, and 11 to 19. Kids 10 and under free. Don't miss it. Lawnmower Night at the races, Hickory Motor Speedway, home of the NASCAR stars.
Hi, I'm Calvin Hastings, and I want to invite you to the Spring Open House event this Saturday, May 20th at MS Power Sports, 4804 Wilkinson Boulevard in Gastonia. We'll be there with a live radio broadcast on the balls and Big O Country from 10 a.m. till 2 p.m. We'll have free Subway sandwiches from Subway in Belmont, chips and soft drinks. And register to win some great prizes, including American Legion Baseball World Series tickets, Hickory Crawdad baseball tickets, free rounds of golf, a $25 gift card to the Homestead Restaurant in Lincoln, Boss t-shirts, and more. And check out the great deals, like the 2017 Honda Rancher starting at $53.49, or the Honda 2017 Foreman starting at $69.99. And how about the new 2017 Honda Rebel 500 motorcycle starting at $62.99, plus many, many more. So plan now to join us this Saturday, May 20th, the Spring Open House event at MS Power Sports, 4804 Wilkinson Boulevard in Gastonia. Again, we'll be there this Saturday, 10 a.m. till 2 p.m. Come join us for the fun.
It's time. Time to head to the Pine Mountain Golf Course. Pine Mountain invites all former Pine Grove Golf Course players to come on up. You'll find a challenging 18-hole par 68 course. Play all day on weekends for only $22. Seniors can play and ride on weekends for $19. And ask about the Clip and Save coupons available. Call 828-433-4950 for your tee time at the Pine Mountain Golf Course, located at the base of the beautiful South Mountain State Park.
From auto to home to business to life insurance, your hometown agent is Rocky Bennett at Bennett Insurance Group. Rocky has been serving this area for over 33 years, offering you the best in coverage with Erie Insurance. No matter your claim, Rocky will work side by side with you for your best coverage. See Rocky Bennett today at Bennett Insurance Group, 116 West Main Street in Cherryville. Call 704-435-0270 for Bennett Insurance in Cherryville.
Who do you call for that leaky roof or new roof needed? Creason Roofing and Repair, Cherryville. Their motto, see the reason while we're the best. Creason Roofing and Repair, fully licensed and insured. Creason Roofing and Repair is dedicated to customer service and complete satisfaction. Always free estimates. Phone 704-435-1791. 24/7 commercial and residential roofing. Creason Roofing and Repair, Cherryville.
Of course, our kids should eat fresh, healthy foods, but there's no supermarket nearby.
I wish we were closer to good health care because of our son's asthma.
And closer to nice homes, decent schools, but
we have none of these resources.
Many variables can shape children's lives, like the zip code where they grow up. Learn how you can help improve your community at HUD.gov/fair housing. Fair housing, shared opportunity in every community. A public service message from HUD in partnership with the National Fair Housing Alliance.
If you want it sold, put it on the Carter Chevrolet Swap Shop with Milton Baker. Monday through Friday from 8:30 to 10, right here on Big O Country and KTCBroadcasting.com.
All right, Ken, we're back here at The Best in Sports. This is Tim Johnson and Ken Link every Wednesday from 4 to 5. You can also catch us on Facebook and YouTube and podcasts as well later on that afternoon, Ken. So we got Lefford Gibson. He is calling the station right now. He called my cell phone, Ken, so we're going to get him call the station here so we can put him live on the radio here on 1590 AM. This is Cherryville Radio Station. Want to thank all our listeners out there for joining in. Ken, we have a new basketball coach.
Yeah, East Lincoln high school varsity boys basketball coach. They had an interim coach there, Chip Ashley, who was just filling in. Well, they've hired a new coach, and they got a good one. John Hancock who's coming from Mallard Creek, has been in the area and done a lot of coaching. He's been a head coach for 21 years, and he's coming to take over East Lincoln varsity boys basketball coaching starting in 2017. He's got an overall record of 324, 233 lifetime. He's has coached not only in that tough 4A conference, Mallard Creek, but he has previously coached at Lincoln, as well as East Burke and Forest View.
Yeah, he's a good coach, Ken. He's got some really good credentials out there too. So he's coached way deep in the playoffs, and I was reading some stuff about him, and like I say, he's done a great job.
Yeah, and speaking of some more East Lincoln news this past week, East Lincoln's quarterback, Malcolm Graham, has decided to transfer and play his high school football at Mallard Creek this next 2 years. So that's news, and East Lincoln has a good program, and I'm sure they'll find somebody to take that place and be competitive again this year.
Hello? I'm sorry.
Ledford Gibson's joining us on the phone now.
Coach Gibson, can you hear us, Coach?
Yes, sir.
How you doing, man?
Good. How are you guys?
Doing good. Thank you for calling the Best in Sports. All right, Coach. I'm trying to get this buzzing if we hear.
Coach, hold on a second.
How about there, man? Can you hear me?
No, I can't hear you.
Can you hear me now?
Nope. Barely can hear what you're saying.
All right, Coach Gibson, how about now?
There you go. There
All
you
right,
go.
Coach. So, Lincoln High School football coach Ledford Gibson on the phone with us. Ken, he lost his quarterback last year, Cordell Littlejohn, and he lost one of his best running backs, Jamal Littlejohn, that went to Georgia, and also lost one of the best football players in the state of North Carolina, and one of the best football players ever played in Lincoln County, Sage Surratt, and lost a great running back, and that is McLean there. So, Coach, you got your work cut out this year, my man.
Yeah, we got a lot of big shoes to fill, but we got a great tradition here, and we got some good athletes and some good kids. They've been working hard, so we got, we'll figure it out. And once we get things figured out, that quarterback position with the kids we got around it, I think we'll be all right. We'll be competing for it, and I think the kids will work for it, and they'll be right there in the thick of things once it comes that time.
Well, Coach, one thing I always noticed about Lincoln, they always have some athletes, and I'm sure you'll have athletes this year, and you have some guys at skill positions that you can take advantage of their skills, and I look for Lincoln to still be able to put some points on the board.
Yeah, we still got some skill. We still got some speed outside, and we still returning some offensive linemen, defensive linemen. Those defensive backs are still there. So we got some skill and athleticism. We got to find some leadership, and we got to find that position, that quarterback, somebody to step in there and kind of lead the team. But I think once we find out somebody just step in and fill that role, and the biggest part of that is the leadership and that on that offensive side of it. And once we get that and those things going, I think we'll be in pretty good shape.
Now, Coach, we was talking the other day, and you said that your defense coordinator, Greg Pound, is retiring. So have you found
offensive coordinator?
Offensive coordinator. Now, have you found
him and Zach shared the offense.
That's right.
Him and Zach did the offense together.
Right. Now, have you found somebody to replace him, or are you still looking?
No, we're still looking. We haven't filled that spot yet. It's hard right now because they're cutting back with the teaching jobs. We only have a couple teaching jobs, so we're looking to find a couple coaches. Actually, we got a couple coaching spots to fill. That we had a JV coach that is not going to come back either. So we got a couple spots that we need to get out there and hoping to get some guys in there. Maybe one of our young guys that were here before that played with us, and get some of those guys back into the tradition-wise, and maybe that'll help us out a little bit. And so we still got that to go, but I'm sure somebody will come around for us.
Right. Is it possible, Coach, that you could change your offense? I mean, is it possible that you could, instead of doing a spread, you could come out maybe running the ball a little bit more?
Oh yeah, we'll definitely be running the ball a little more. We've done that in the past. I mean, in 2005 and 7 with Zach and CJ and those guys, we were about 50-50. We threw the ball and ran the ball well, and then in 2011 we were a triple option team.
Right.
So we're gonna adjust to whatever we have talent wise. If we have a kid that comes out that's a good runner and we can run the triple option, we'd even go back to that if necessary.
Right.
We can do whatever, just depending on who we have. We can go back to that. I don't think we'd go all the way back to that, but know that we can run high, and we can run some power football, and we can run some power run plays out of the spread look, and do some things like that, and still be good enough throwing the ball to keep people honest. But I definitely think we'll be a little bit more run this year. But if somebody steps up and throws the ball well, you never know.
Coach, it looks like with the new league or with the realignment, there's going to be some more parity, I think, in the league this year. It's hard to sit down and say, hey, here's the favorites. What's your thoughts about the teams that's going to be in the league? North Lincoln coming in, another rivalry for Lincoln County.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be a lot more even this year. There's going to be a lot more parity this year. I think there's 4 or 5 teams that I think really could step up if things worked out for them, and they stay healthy. That could step up and give people problems and possibly win the conference. East Lincoln's always going to be there. They got kids back. I know they've lost a few too, like us, but they've had a good thing going here the last 8 or 10 years, so they're there. Maiden's got a lot of their kids back, so they're there. Newton Conover's got some good kids going up there. They got some great athletes up there, so they're right in the middle of it. One team that people don't really realize is going to be a lot better is Bandy's.
Bandy's
They got some good-looking kids.
Yeah.
They got some good-looking athletes, some good kids. The Culliver kid, if he's healthy, he's definitely one of the best athletes around. And there's a lot of good teams in our conference that can step up and really be a threat. And week in and week out, it's going to be tough.
Right now, East Lincoln lost our quarterback. We talked about that, and he's going to Mallard Creek. So
that's what I heard.
East Lincoln's in the same boat that you guys in. I mean, you had an experienced quarterback last year, Coach, and they had an experienced quarterback, and now you're going to have to find your quarterback. Do you have anybody, Coach? I know we had talked about you had 2 or 3 kids, you was telling me. Are there anybody that maybe stands out? I knew Robinson was your second-string quarterback. There's a chance he may not even play because of basketball. Is that possible, Coach?
Yeah, that's a possibility. That's what kids have told me, and we won't know for sure with him until we start spring practice Monday. We'll see what goes then, and then come August, once he gets through the AAU stuff, and he's had his fill of basketball, he may change his mind, and he would have been our next guy in line for that. And if he's there, we definitely can go back and throw the ball a lot more because he's got a strong arm, and we can do a lot of things with him. But we still have some, even without him, we have some options there. We have some kids with some great athletic talent, and they've never had to throw the ball because when they've grown up with Cordell and Chris being those quarterbacks.
Sure.
So they've never had to be the guys that do that. But, you get out here playing in the backyard, all kids have thrown the ball around, so they just got to figure out which one is capable of stepping in and being the leader when they do that. And if they can do that and throw the ball enough to keep people honest with our offensive line and the running game we're going to have, I think that they have a chance of being pretty successful.
Coach, I ran into one of your football players. Let's see, it was Sunday. Me and my wife went out to eat some ice cream at Morgan's Ice Cream in Lincoln, and we ran into Peanut, believe it or not. And Peanut said he's ready to coach. He said he's just a phone call away.
I've been trying to get Peanut. As soon as he can get the job worked out where he can get here with us enough to be here, then I hope to add him to the staff.
He made me tell you that live on the air. I told him, I said, Coach Gibson will be with me and Ken live on the air, the best in sports. And he said, Tim, one of you, make sure you tell him I am ready to coach.
I'm ready to have Peanut here. As soon as he can get that job worked out where he can be here, even if it ain't 3 o'clock, if he can get here a little later, like a couple of my other coaches,
he's definitely.
He was one of those ones I was talking about the younger guys that played for me that we need to get back here. Him and a couple of those other guys that graduated a few years ago. He's definitely one of those guys I was talking about that we need to get back in the program and get here to help these guys and coach these guys. And I hope he does get it worked out where he can come in and help. He's definitely one I would add to the staff as soon as he walked in the door.
Coach, are there any?
I hope he's serious about it and he gets it worked out where he can.
Absolutely, he would absolutely be a prime. He'd help you tremendously. He's a great young man. As a role model too, as a coach.
Role model, enthusiasm.
Absolutely,
he'd bring everything up.
Yeah, and all the fans loved watching him play for all the years he was there, and they would enjoy him.
He made probably the greatest catch you ever seen on the sidelines against South Point.
Oh, I haven't seen anyone better in high school.
I'm talking about maybe professional.
Yeah.
So
he was a tremendous athlete, and he's got some skills outside of that, too. He's a great motivator and stuff like that, so it'd be a big plus to have.
Coach, are y'all doing anything to raise money for your football team that we can help you here at KTC Broadcasting?
We are going to start shortly. We're going to do a few fundraisers. We haven't started yet because we had a FCA camp that fell through because of funding. We're going to try to go to a camp this summer, so we're going to have to do a couple things. And I'm just not sure yet what we're going to be able to do. We're going to do it's not a GoFundMe, but it is Our Fund page online.
Sure.
And as soon as I get all the details of that, I'll get them to you so you can get them to me, so you can get them on for me.
Now, Coach.
But that's basically going to be our biggest thing is that. So
me and Ken have came up with an idea here at KTC Broadcasting. Ran it past Coach Pack last week, and he's all over it. We're going to have a Lincoln High School Wolves Day on KTC Broadcasting on the Best in Sports on our show. We're going to have a North Lincoln, a West Lincoln Rebels Day, and an East Lincoln Mustangs Day. And what we want to do is we want you to come to the studio one day, maybe in June, sometime like that, and you sit down and you can tell all your parents, all your kids, that all of the money, when they call in the station here, and they make a pledge, if it's $50, $20, $100, whatever they make a pledge for, you raise that money goes straight to Lincoln High School Wolves football program. But you got to be in the station with it. You're answering the phone, you're on the radio, and what we want you to do is put it out there. We want you to be a part of that. Would you like to be a part of that?
Sure, anything you help us raise money, we'll go right along with what we're doing with Our Fund page, and that'll give something to raise up for that camp we're trying to get done. That'd be great.
Coach, you good for that?
Yeah, sounds good, bud.
Okay, all right, sounds good, man. I'll tell you what, Coach, we appreciate you calling the show. The Best in Sports, Ken Lincoln, Tim Johnson. We'll be in contact with you in the next few weeks after school's out, and we're going to get you live here in the studio. We're going to raise you some money for your football program. Coach, good luck to you this season. We'll be talking to you all summer long.
All right, sounds good. Thank you, Tim. We appreciate you guys.
Thank you too, man.
All right.
That's Coach Leffler Gibson right here on KTC Broadcasting. We'll be back after these commercials on 1590.
It's time for a new ride from the Car Store in Cherryville. The Car Store features on-the-lot financing, plus a great selection to choose from. See their entire lineup at carstorecherryville.com. But they do more, like a full-service service department, from an oil change to inspections, plus new and used tires and wheels too. The Car Store on 1801 Lincoln Highway, 150 East in Cherryville, serving this area for over 23 years. Open Monday through Friday, 8:30 to 6. Just call 704-435-1988 for the Car Store in Cherryville.
I can honestly understand why it's over. I can go through the motions of walking away. I can give you the key.
I love the station.
Big O Country, 1590 AM, WCSL, Cherryville, Gastonia. Online at KTCBroadcasting.com.
Why is it smarter to buy from Carter? Come visit our newly renovated facility and you'll see why. It's our huge selection, our Smarter with Carter service, our rock bottom prices, and impeccable customer satisfaction. Carter Chevrolet has been family owned and operated for over 50 years. We are here today and we'll be here tomorrow. Feel smarter when you buy from Carter. Chevy makes the truck, Carter makes the difference.
The renovations are complete. The greens are now in the best shape ever. And all that's missing is you. Come on out and play at the newly renovated Lincoln Country Club. The course has been challenging golfers since 1946. Ask about membership opportunities. See the new swimming pool. And of course, the best around is a restaurant. And hone in your skills on the driving range. Come for your tee time at 704-735-1382. The Lincoln Country Club, 2052 Country Club Road, Lincoln. Online at lincolncountryclub.net. Engineering great smiles, that's the goal at Dr. Paul H. Cloninger Family and Cosmetic Dentistry in Cherryville. Dr. Cloninger can fix those ill-fitting dentures and partials by surgically placing dental implants as a means of stability and support. 3D imaging assists the doctor in properly designing and placing an implant for you. Dental implant consultations are free. Call for an appointment at 704-435-6916. That's 704-435-6916. Or visit our website at paulcloningerdentistry.com.
Hear that? Not the cell phone, the hazard behind it. At Mr. Sparky, safety comes first. With years of experience in the latest technology, we prevent electrical problems before they happen. Through thermal imaging, home safety inspections, and smoke detector maintenance. Our electricians save homes and lives in the Charlotte area every day. Visit the on-time electrician at charlotte.mrsparky.com or call 704-247-6418.
I'm Rusty Wise, and I definitely approve this message. Don't put up with any malarkey. Call Mr. Sparky.
Doctor, what's wrong with my husband?
Let's take a look. CKDKDS Macron. Oh, yes, I've seen this before. Your husband has coyote fever.
Coyote fever?
Yes, he's obviously learned of the hot deals going on now at your local Coyote tractor dealer.
Is this serious?
Very serious. Now is the best time to buy one of the best-selling tractors on the market. If you care at all about your husband, you'll drive him over to the Coyote dealer now. Oh, and I'm writing you a prescription for great deals on all implements, too.
Your Coyote dealer is West End Sales, Highway 1827 intersection in Vale.
Big Mac is back. I moved my services back home to Keith Hawthorne Ford in Belmont. Home of the Keith Hawthorne Advantage with lifetime powertrain warranty. Check this out. New 2017 Ford Fusion as low as $19,995. A new 2017 Ford F-150 as low as $23,985. Don't delay. Call me today at 704-825-5186. I'll hook you up. Home opener Grizzly tickets with all you can eat while they last. Come see Big Mac, the round man with a square deal.
Play trivia every morning from 6 a.m. to 9 o'clock right here at Big O Country. 4 big games each morning. Join us for trivia right here at Big O Country, WOHS, WCSL, and WLON.
All right, we're back here on The Best in Sports. We had Lincoln High School football coach Lefford Gibson on the phone there with us. I want to thank Coach for calling in. All right, Ken, we got some news in baseball for one of our local players, Mr. Chandler Jenkins. Played at West Lincoln High School baseball. One of the best baseball players come out of West Lincoln. He just finished an unbelievable season, Ken.
Absolutely. We've talked about Chandler and the great year he's had before on here, but he won another award this past week. He was chosen the Player of the Year, Offensive Player of the Year in District 10 of the junior colleges in this area.
That's unbelievable, Ken. 18 home runs.
He broke the CBCC record in one season. The record's 18. Record was 14 home runs across 2 seasons. He broke it in one season.
Yeah, I think Coach McDonald, I think he had the record there, and Chandler broke it by 4.
And he blew away, I think, the RBI record for the school was like 40-some, and he had like 72. He blew it away, and he actually finished in the top 3 nationally in 5 different categories, which is amazing.
Yeah, and he's going to East Carolina, too, to play baseball.
Yes.
So that's a great accomplishment for Chandler coming out of West Lincoln High School. I've known Chandler all my life. Like I say, he's like a son to me. Him and my son played baseball all their life together. He's one of the reasons why Alec went to West Lincoln to play baseball with Chandler. So great young man. I know Keith and Carmen, and I know they're ecstatic, and I know they're awfully proud of him. And I know his grandpa is too. So yeah, I'm proud of him. My whole entire family. So Ken, I know you are. And he's American Legion product too from Bobby Dale Reynolds.
He played I think 3 years for Post 100, and I enjoyed watching him play. He just finished up CBC with this weekend. They had the District 10 tournament. CBC was there. They went 2-2. They did well in the tournament, but they didn't win it. Pitt Community College won it, and they're on the way to the National Junior College World Series. And,
yeah, they're a great baseball program. They used to be a D1.
Program.
They dropped down to D2.
And CBCC's been there. They've been in the World Series. And Coach Rozelle there, he's only been there since 2015, but he won his 100th game the other day. He's done well there, and they've got a good program there, which is a new program, and it has probably been less than 10 years. that they've been there. So that program is a relatively new program at that school, and it's done well.
Right, yeah. And I know Coach Reynolds is awfully proud of Chandler, too, and I know Coach Chapman is, too. So there's two really good coaches there. One great coach, without a doubt, and Alan Chapman, too, a great coach, too. So they're awfully proud of Chandler Jenkins, and the whole entire community is. So, all right, Ken, so we got some NASCAR news you was talking about.
Yeah, we got NASCAR news. This past week at the Go Bowling 400 in Kansas, they had a fiery wreck. The winner of that was Martin Truex with Brad Keselowski second, but there was a bad wreck with a lot of fire involved between Joey Logano, Danica Patrick, and Eric Almirola. Now, Almirola, he was the one that got the worst of it. He actually had to be cut out of his vehicle and was airlifted to a local hospital. Thank goodness he wasn't seriously injured. He did have a compressed vertebrae in his back, and he's going to miss some races. Carl Edwards is going to fill in for him. The cause of the wreck was some mechanical failure on Logano's car, so there wasn't any finger pointing or anything like that. Thank goodness everybody sort of wasn't scathed. If you look at how those cars were completely destroyed, it just shows you how far they've gone as far as safety.
Yeah, absolutely.
And that's vehicles.
That's our biggest thing. And I'm gonna tell you something, Ken. A lot of people don't realize this, but they could thank Dale Earnhart for his life for safety.
Absolutely. I mean, after that, they
changed.
really changed a lot of stuff, and they've been trying to improve, and it's amazing. I mean, those cars were on fire, completely destroyed, and two of the drivers didn't even get taken to the hospital. They just were checked out in the observation area in the infield, and the guy who was took, I mean, he was actually released by that nightfall and headed back to Charlotte. So it's just amazing they didn't get hurt.
They build them cars to crash.
Oh, they do.
Yeah, they build them like a rocket.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like a rocket. You got to think about it. You're sitting in a rocket and roll bars and stuff like that. So, they want you to wreck the car to, so they can make adjustments and stuff like that as the future goes on in NASCAR. And I think they've done a great, wonderful job keeping the drivers and stuff safety-wise, and especially their life. And like I said, the next race is in Charlotte. It's the All-Star race this weekend. And then the weekend of May 28th, which being, next weekend, actually, Ken, will be the Coca-Cola 600.
Yeah, the big 600 record race. There's a lot of activities going on this week and next week. Next week, it'll be what they call Speed Street in downtown Charlotte, where they'll have all the booths set up. A lot of excitement. Well, I used to work downtown Charlotte, and
a lot of great bands.
I'd go out there at lunchtime when they set it up on that Thursday or Friday before everybody was going. They'd block off the streets, and we'd walk around.
Did you do a little partying, Ken?
Well, no, I got some good food and tried to get a bunch of freebies as far as all the gifts they give away and that kind of thing. But I always enjoyed that, and it's always a good time. This Friday, the big All-Star race is going on. This is the 25th All-Star race.
It's been successful too.
Oh, and the reason it's successful, they always are trying to put a little wrinkle in it and change
They do.
it. So this year it's going to be 70 laps. It's going to be 4 segments, 4 stages, 20, 20, 20, and 10.
Wow.
And the thing about it is there's going to be 20 cars in it. 16 have already qualified. There's 4 more that's going to have to get in the race, and there'll be a race beforehand to get 3 in, and then the fans are going to vote another one in. So when you get to the race that starts at 8 o'clock, there'll be 20 drivers in that race. When they get down to the final segment, there won't be but 10 drivers left for that 10-lap dash. And here's another wrinkle they put in it. They got each driver's got one set of softer tires that's going to give them more speed.
Wow.
They can
more
put,
grip. Is it more grip?
Yeah. They can put them on at any time. But if they choose to put them on for that last 10-lap segment, they have to start behind
the back of the pack.
They have to start behind cars who didn't put them on.
Ah, gotcha.
So
to make it fair,
what you're gonna have some, you're gonna have some
it's
unusual things. You're gonna have some crazy things. There's probably gonna be some confusion, and as always, it'd probably be unpredictable as far as what happens.
Oh yeah.
So anyway, that's going on this Friday night, and
Kyle Larson
Saturday
still
night.
leads
I'm
the
sorry,
points.
I think it's
right?
Saturday night. Is when
Saturday. Kyle Larson still leads the points. Is that correct? Followed by Martin Truex Jr., Brad Keselowski.
Yeah, those are 3. And And Truex has been doing well, so he's closing that gap, and he's getting closer to Larson, who's been leading for a good while since early in the season.
Well, that's awesome. Now, I see you got some Duke basketball news, Ken.
Well, it came out this week that Frank Jackson, their sophomore guard, who was really playing well at the end of the season, in fact, he made the all-tournament team in the ACC tournament, he has decided to hire an agent and try his basketball in the NBA.
So Duke's going to have a new basketball team next year.
Absolutely. That's a fourth one. They had Tatum and Grenard and
Harry Giles.
Yeah, Giles.
Giles. Is it Giles? I thought
Yeah,
it was
Giles.
Okay.
Those are four that have gone. You already had two that transferred, plus you had a couple graduated. So what you've got back is Grayson Allen and two guys off the bench who played very little. Now, I know Duke recruits well, and they got some recruits coming in. But, boy, they don't have much experience to
They
put
don't
in
have no
there
chemistry,
with them.
Ken.
No,
They lost all the
tough.
chemistry.
It's going to be tough. And one of the big outstanding recruits just signed about a week and a half ago with Kentucky. Duke was hoping to get him. So was Carolina. A guy named Kevin Knox. He was the best small forward coming out of high school this year. But he went to Kentucky, and Duke didn't get him. So we'll see what Duke does this year. But Coach K's got some work in front of him to try to pull this team together and, as you say, get some chemistry going.
Yeah, he's definitely got his work cut out this year. I mean, Grayson out. He might, you know how Grayson is. He might not even have him for the whole entire year, Ken.
Well, you never know about Grayson. I think he made the right decision about
staying.
Yeah. But then what kind of team he's going to have with him? Actually, when you look back at it, he'd have been much better off if he'd have went to the NBA after his sophomore year.
Well,
but you never know what's going to happen.
I tell you, Ken, think about that. He's staying with a bunch of young kids, okay, and the problems he had this past year and stuff like that with leadership ways and stuff like that. Now's his chance to turn this around and become a leader. You know, and that would help his stopgap. Think about it. He could turn everything around, and he could lead that team. Say he leads that team to a deep in the playoffs.
Well,
That'll help him.
He's got talent, and it would help him. And one of the questions is because of the problems he had about his maturity, and if he could prove to people that he's conquered that would help him in the draft.
What about some Major League Baseball, Ken? I see you got the Astros and Angels and Rangers, and I see the Yankees. You got the Orioles. And also, speaking of Major League Baseball, Derek Jeter had his number retired of the Yankees. Never be worn again, number 2.
Yeah, I saw that. And
let me ask you a question, Ken. You got Derek Jeter. Think about this. Derek Jeter. And I know Kevin Hastings is listening. I want you to listen to this, Kevin, going down the road. Michael Jordan, Derek Jeter, Tom Brady. Who's the most clutch player ever between them three? Who would you say?
I'd choose Jordan, but that's me. You know, I'm probably a little bit prejudiced because I'm a Carolina.
You got to take
fan.
Brady out of the equation. To me, you take Brady out. It's between Jordan and Jeter, I think.
I think it's Jordan, and you know, part of it's the game. I mean, you got 5 people on the team on the court at a time.
Right.
And you can individually do more in that situation than, you know, always baseball situations. But
I'd say Jordan too, but I'm gonna tell you what, Jeter's right there with him.
Oh, he was tough. He always stepped up. I mean, he was clutch.
He was never the best player on his team. You know that? Believe that? He was never the best player on his team. He was never the best player in the league. He was never the best shortstop in the league. But one thing he had that nobody had, he was smart. He had instincts. He knew what to do in certain situations. And when they needed something, Jeter stepped up and made a play or got a big hit. To me,
and then one thing he did do was he had the determination. He worked so hard.
Oh, yeah.
You stay smart. And as people come into the Yankee organization and look to see how he did it, that was an example to say, okay,
absolutely.
If he's doing it and he's the star, man, I got to do it. You know, so
never in trouble,
yeah.
never no kind of gambling, never nothing. I mean, he was just a clean person and played so many years for the Yankees, his whole entire career, and was just unbelievable. And his last bat, he walked off with a base hit, Ken.
Oh yeah, in style.
Absolutely, that's a movie right there.
Yeah, well, I'm sure. Yeah, it's
that's
like it's you could write the script, and there it was.
But I agree with you, Jordan, without a doubt.
But in Major League Baseball, the Astros have the best record in Major League Baseball. They're right now at 700. They're winning 70% of their games.
Yeah.
And And somebody that has another good record, obviously, is the Nationals. The Nationals got a 9-game lead over the Mets and Braves. The Braves are in second place in the American League and the National League East. However, they're 9 games back. So
well, that's not, it's not bad.
No, it's not. It's just that nobody's going to catch the Nationals in that division.
They got pitching.
They got pitching. They got hitting.
Some hitting too. Yeah.
They're this is their year, and the Astros, this is their year.
So you got the Braves 15-21. They're tied for second, and the Mets in National League East 9 games back.
And Astros have an 8-game lead over the Angels and the Rangers. Those two teams are running away.
The Yankees, are they in first? Is that
Yankees
what I'm looking
are in
at?
first, but they're only half a game ahead of the Orioles. Red Sox are 4 back. That's still wide open. But in the other division, in the Central, man, you talk about
Twins.
Twins are leading a half a game back, or the Indians. The Tigers 2.5 back. The White Sox are 3 back. The Royals are 4.5. That Central Division is wide open. It's up for grabs. It's up for grabs.
I still got my money. I said first of the season, Indians going to win the World Series. That's who I'm banking on. That's who I got my money on.
Another surprise team in the National League, the Colorado Rockies, are leading the West. They're ahead of the Diamondbacks 2.5 back. The Dodgers are 3 games back. And, the Cubs are not leading their division. The Cardinals are leading that division. The Brewers are half a game back, with the Cubs and Reds 2.5 back, and the Cubs only have a 500 record so far.
Pretty good.
So there you go. There's a lot of surprises, a lot of parity. I like the Colorado Rockies. They're getting a little better pitching this year, and I think they'll be in there for the long haul. Now, whether they can hold off the Dodgers, we'll see. But right now, they're hanging in there.
And some college baseball news out there for you. ACC teams ranked 2nd and 3rd in the country. You got Oregon State. They're still in first place. They're 41-4. Louisville's 46-6. They're the second team from the ACC, and UNC 41-10. So 2 of the top 3 teams of the ACC, Ken.
Yeah, in the nation. And they'll be here in about a week or so. You'll have the ACC baseball tournament gearing up, and we'll see who wins that. But obviously, these 2 teams are going to be in the NCAA tournament. 2 of the best teams in the country. Talk a little bit of NBA, Tim. Finally, we've got down to the final series. You got in the East, you got the Cleveland against Boston. Boston and Washington went 7 games, and Boston won that series. So game 1 is tonight with the Cleveland and Boston series. On the other side, Golden State leads San Antonio 2-0. Now, the first game they played, San Antonio had them down 25 points in the third quarter. Golden State come back and won that ball game.
Well, they lost their best defender,
they did.
Kawhi.
And after he went down and they won it,
that was dirty. I don't care what anybody says. That was a dirty play, Ken.
But you could say that. But if he don't go down, they probably don't win that game.
Right.
But after he went down, they sort of knocked some life out of him. In the second game, Golden State blew them out by 36 points. So, it don't look like that series is going to be
that one's over. Golden State's over.
I think it's over, and we'll see how the other one goes.
Does Boston have a chance?
I don't think so. I think they'll win a game or 2, but they can't beat Cleveland in the series.
All right, Kenny. That's the best in sports. Tim Johnson and Ken Link here on Wednesday at WCSL 1590 AM. We'll see you guys here next Wednesday. And we got lots more sports to talk about coming up next Wednesday, Ken. Got some good stuff.
All right. See you then.
Everybody have a great rest of the week, and we'll see you here next Wednesday.